Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Friday! It is Friday! How is everyone today? I'm just setting out the cards here and the books for whichever ones I need. And I have the regular thingies that I pull every morning. We're in limited choices still, but you know what? It's okay because we make it work, right? We got the positivity cards and whatnot. I do apologize ahead of time for the background noise because I am competing with the tree trimmers today. I was competing with them sort of yesterday at the end of the perspective, but let's see how it goes. So let's start out with our usuals. I have the Beyond Lemuria deck, the Oracle or the Isis Oracle deck, Angels of Atlantis, and the Sacred Cycles deck. I love the Sacred Cycles deck. That's like my new obsession right now. I have a very precarious pile of boxes that these cards sit in. That could or could not go sideways fast, but let's see what happens. So anyways, I am recycling an outfit today, but it's a travel day, so that's why. But I am going home, and I'm grateful that my cousin will be coming in behind me. So, you know, as my dad goes on the upswing. So let's see. Nothing seems to want to come out this morning. Happy Aloha Friday. It is Aloha Friday. Still waiting for people to come on. My usuals are either traveling or probably not awake yet, but hopefully they'll be on soon. But also, it's an Oracle Friday, so not everybody comes on. Good morning, T. There. All right, so there's those three. I'll probably make it quick today because, like I said, I'm competing with the tree trimmers. Lord. Well, you know what? We had this one early in the week, right? So, the question is not what you look at, but what you see. The question is not what you look at, but what you see. Henry Thoreau. The question is not what you look at, but what you see. I agree on a new level than the last time I saw this card. Because I was watching something last night that says in order for you to be able to move forward and kind of get yourself unstuck, is to acknowledge that you have peace and are content with exactly where you are at now. And I think that's what I was missing, right? You're like, we're always trying so hard to claw our way out of whatever it is we're going through when it's something rough or something hard. Good morning, Eileen. That I think I lost my perspective. So in order to get yourself unstuck and to move past that new starting line, you have to find contentment and peace in exactly where you're at now. That doesn't mean you have to love everything that's happening around you. That doesn't mean that, you know, you're okay with struggling and whatever it is that you're struggling with. But the point is, what it's telling you is it's an acknowledgement of where you are at. And then that should help you catapult yourself forward. It'll give you a little bit more clarity. It'll give you a little bit more understanding of exactly what it is you're facing and how to climb over those obstacles, right? So remember, the question is not what you look at, but what you see. When you hate a situation that you were in so much, you are literally drawing that vibration to you, right? I mean, I've been very open about how the last few months have been just a struggle because, you know, just general stuff, just regular everyday to day stuff. You know, it's been that struggle in trying to maintain, trying to make sure what's going to happen next, or where's this going to come from, or how's that going to get done. And, you know, and I think in the whole time, I wasn't in my situation. I was outside looking in, just trying to shake that magic ball, right? And say, oh, make something happen. But I wasn't content. I wasn't at peace with where I was. And last night, I found that contentment and that peace. So sometimes this is what we have to do to get unstuck so we can open that flow, so we can move forward. All right? It's time to make a decision. My decision last night was to find peace and contentment in exactly where I'm at. So remember, if you want to get unstuck and you want to open the floodgates of abundance and flow and all this other good stuff, all the good juju-y and prayers manifesting and everything, you have to be content with where you're at now. Okay? Be grateful for everything around you. That doesn't mean you don't want it to change. That doesn't mean you don't want it to get better. It just means that you are acknowledging and you are in this now. You're not on the outside looking in. You are in it. And you're in it to win it. Right? So make your decisions. Advice from a cactus. This is one of my favorites. Alon Shamir. Advice from a cactus. Get plenty of sunshine. Accentuate your strong points. Be patient throughout the dry spells. Wait for your time to bloom. Stay sharp. Stay sharp. Don't hug a cactus. Unless you just like pain, but don't hug a cactus. And this one came up again. The writer. You are the author of your story. Make it a good story. You are the author of your story. Make it a good story. Don't focus so much on, I think I talked about this the other day. Don't focus so much on, what are people going to think of me when I'm gone? Just do it now. What do people think about you now? Right? Are you putting something good out into this world? Or are you not putting something good out into this world? Or, are you feeling stuck? So you don't know what to put into this world. Give yourself a break. Take a deep breath. All right. A lot of times we think we're not putting anything good into this world. And then people come over and say, oh my God, what you did today was so amazing and blah, blah, blah. So when people compliment you, also take that. Because sometimes when we are unable to see what we are worth and what we can do, the universe, your source, God, whoever your higher power is going to put someone in your path to show you this, to show you exactly what it is that you were made of, and to show you what you bring to the table. Okay? So, trying to decide which one. We'll go with the Isis deck first. So these are more like, I want to say these are more like messagey cards. Whoa, that was close. Almost knocked over the whole tower. And by messagey cards, I mean, they're just kind of more guidance, I guess. They're not like, oh yeah, tell me my future. Everything I pull on Fridays, see, that's someone wanting you to know something. Goddess Isis, right? When I pull these, they are about guidance. They are about showing people the way. This is the way. Sorry, if you're a Mandalorian fan, you'll know what I mean. But, oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know if you've seen the latest episode of Boba Fett, but if you haven't, go watch it. Okay? Even if you don't like the show, go watch it. I like it. It's a little slow, but this was a good one. So, all right. First one, enter the chamber of healing. Enter the chamber of healing. A spiritual gift of healing is coming to you now. Be open without expectation or preconceived notions, and allow the healing energy to help you find the best solution for any situation that does not appear to be as it should be. Expect your miracle. Remember, you cannot expect that miracle unless you are content and at peace with where you are at now. Okay? Again, yes, you may have stuff piling up. Yes, you may not be exactly where it is you want to be. Yes, there may be so many things you want to do and you have no idea how to do it. This card is telling you you have to heal that. And the only way to really truly heal that is to be present in this moment. And to be, grateful for what you do have. Be content. Be at peace. Be at peace with where you are at right now. And show that gratitude in every direction. The more you hate your situation, the more you are going to continue to bring that to you. Okay? You are going to manifest it into your life. And what would you rather manifest? Good stuff. Right? Really wonderful. Putting out that awesome vibration that you're used to putting out. So again, enter the chamber of healing because good things are happening. The brother in darkness. Ooh, that sounds mysterious. The brother in darkness. Whenever negative energy is present, it is a sign that we are ready to move more deeply into our feminine divine power. You shall overcome any negative energy with grace and triumph. Stay in your heart. There is no need to be afraid. Now, I know some people might get hung up on the feminine part. Okay, every human being has a feminine and a masculine part. And this is all it's talking about. It's like tap into your, to your softer side is I think what they're really kind of saying. You know, it's the society norms, right? Masculine is tough, feminine is softer, and, you know, just more feely. Everybody has this in them. Okay, so again, whenever negative energy is present, it is a sign that we are ready to move more deeply into our feminine divine power. You shall overcome any negative energy with grace and triumph. Stay in your heart. There is no need to be afraid. Remember, fear is a liar. Worry is its best friend. And you don't want to hang out with them because they're those little rotten kids from the Christmas Story. The Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus brings divine perception, protection, and insight. You are gifted with certain spiritual abilities, including divine sight, that are awakening and growing now. You have much divine support and protection so that you may grow your abilities and serve others with your divine gifts. Trust your perception and know that you are divinely protected. Trust your perception and know that you are divinely protected. I have a friend that's watching, and she is very insightful. She has given me some massive insight, and I'm sure she has it developed, but I hope she continues to develop it because it's an awesome gift. I need to trust my intuition more too. I tend to go against the grain a lot because, you know, a lot of that comes from fear and control. And that's what I'm trying to let go, because I do have a lot of intuition that I just kind of ignore. And I don't think that's wise, because we have intuition and insight and divine insight for a reason. I do believe everybody has it, but I do believe it comes in stronger for some people because they nurture it, they harness it, they take care of it and don't shun it. And when you don't shun it, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's an amazing gift. So, wow, these are a lot. All right, so let's get rolling since there's a lot. Alrighty. Air, Paradigm Shift. That's a cool card. Oh, this is the Lemuria deck now. This is a time of tremendous change, and the speed of our evolution is increasing exponentially. We can build energetic sovereignty, inspire others, connect dots, and receive and share the knowledge and tools needed for transformation. As we wake up, we can't help but awaken those around us. It may start with an inquiry on what this fresh, new, and long-awaited breath is in us is all about. An expansive being holds a tiny heart-shaped seedling. There's the tiny heart-shaped seedling. When the foundations we build on come from a place of love over fear, we will see huge positive changes in the world. We can start with ourselves. Again, fear is a liar. Worry is its best friend. Let your love overcome fear. Okay? I know it's hard. I know how hard it can be to not be afraid. But, wow. Here's the second element. But, it is doable. It is possible. Fear is our inability to let go of control. That's my humble opinion. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty close to it being a fact. It's definitely a fact in my life. And in other people, I see it's also a fact. You know, we spend so much time putting up a certain exterior that when the exterior gets a little shaky or it cracks a little bit, and before the repairman can get there to fix these cracks in us, you know, basically your internal repair person, we tend to become afraid that people might think us vulnerable, might think us weak. You're not vulnerable or weak. Vulnerability is a strength, believe it or not, because it takes strength to ask for help. All right, so we got fire now. Fire. Solaris Sublime. We live in a dualistic world, bringing light and dark into balance and bringing... Oh, and... sorry, let me try this again. We live in a dualistic world. Bringing light and dark into balance and being real with our humanness can allow us to reach more joy, authenticity, and depth. By accepting and loving all of ourselves as we are, we can extend more of this love and have greater compassion of others, or for others. This painting portrays the balanced dance of creation. As the dragons come together, they dissolve into one with all that is. In this place of coalescence, both sides fuse in oneness, not just as a re-emerging with the universe, but in an alchemy is the word we're going for here. Process of becoming the empowered creator force we truly are. So see, even I struggle over words, but this is beautiful. That's a great card. So, balance, dance of creation, balance is a huge thing. In a game I play, my town name is actually Balance. And I think I put it on there because that's the one thing I struggle with is balance. Oh my God, this is so weird. Earth Star Chakra. So not quite the element, but the element. Okay, Earth Star Chakra. You were standing at a gateway into the unknown with trust in your heart, ancient remembering in your soul, and inner illumination to light the way. You have access to the seed of creation, the spark of existence, and the codes that hold the blueprints of who and what we are. This place is clear and grounded, despite moving through multidimensional realms and able to bridge worlds while functioning in physical reality. The higher you reach for the divine in the realms of spirit, the more important it is to anchor deeply to the earth. So, this is what they talk about when you're meditating, like to envision your spine, just kind of like if you're sitting on the ground, to envision your spine just kind of tethering itself in a way, just kind of rooting itself into the planet, right, into the Mother Earth. Or if you're sitting, to have your, feel like your feet have like these little like winding energy roots, right, going right into the ground. If you do not live on a ground floor or you are not outside, I actually imagine the roots going straight through everybody's house right to the bottom. Okay, because I know a lot of places it's still super cold and nobody wants to go outside. Not so much here, but not everybody can have our weather. So again, you're standing at a gateway into the unknown with trust in your heart, ancient remembering in your soul, and inner illumination to light the way. You have access to the seat of creation. This is what happens when you let go of fear. The spark of existence and the codes that hold the blueprints of who and what we are. This place is clear and grounded despite moving through multi-dimensional realms and able to bridge worlds while functioning in physical reality. Let go of fear. All right. Balanced forces. Okay, balance and letting go of fear seem to be our theme today. Here we go. Balanced forces. The Lemurian people are said to have been, we've had this one before, androgynous, a perfect balance of what became a masculine and feminine energy as it densified in physical form. This card invites you to look at masculine and feminine energy from a more balanced perspective. What needs to happen to form a more holistic and equalized foundation? For more masculine drive and focus, concentrate on goals, desires, and ambitions. If you want to engage more feminine energy for receptivity, trust, flow, and surrender, consider all the things you are already grateful for. Feel the warmth, gratitude, and comfort of knowing everything is divinely perfect just the way it is. Again, be present in your moment. Be at peace with yourself in this and your life in this present moment. Okay? So remember, feel the warmth, gratitude, and comfort of knowing everything is divinely perfect just the way it is. All right. Our ancient future. That's interesting. Our ancient future. Okay. An ancient remembering is emerging. Seed crystals and the knowledge they are imbued with are becoming unearthed. Star seeds. Star seeds are a... Google it. I can explain it, but I don't want to step out of my lane here, so Google it if you remember it. Those who see a better future are not just dreaming. Their hearts and minds are hearkening to the core of earth-based traditions to bring through knowledge that will help shift the paradigm into balance. Here goes balance again. This card is imbued with activations, and you are being showered with blessings in preparation for a transformation. It may be turbulent at times, but you will grow and heal through the coming journey. You can navigate a situation you have no experience with by being truly present. Integrity and intuition will guide you. So this is telling you, let go of control. All right, let go of control. So, all right, the Realm Bridger. So, this week feels kind of weird, doesn't it? I mean, I feel like we have been doing, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of felt discombobulated, but like so freeing at the same time, right? So Realm Bridger, as you raise your vibration and explore different states of consciousness, you may experience phenomena you believed only happen in fantasy stories. Through meditation and journeying, we invite a greater awareness of subtle realities. These realms can be amazing places to bring through pioneering ideas and creativity. This card is about bridging the seen and unseen. Just as water changes from solid to gas to liquid, we can catch the intangible in other forms. Metaphors, codes, or even maths can form the path of the visionary. From the mind and the heart, visions can emerge into matter. Dream outside the box. It's time to create the foundations of our realities in a fresh new way. So, a lot of times we will sit there and say, I had the weirdest dream last night. And then we think nothing of it. We think, okay, well, it was just a dream. Dreams, if you are not a person who dreams, then your dreams are trying to tell you something. Okay, if you're a person who does not remember your dreams, then your dreams are trying to tell you something. Your dreams are trying to say, hey, if you give me a little bit of your belief, I am going to show you exactly what you can create for yourself. A lot of people are so stuck in just that kind of day-to-day of living that they don't want to look outside the box. They like their box, and that's okay. You cannot force people out of their box if they're not ready to be out of their box. All right? And it's kind of like the Matrix, right? So Neo was Tom Anderson, and Tom Anderson decided, you know what, I'm curious because I'm tired of this mundane life. Now, I'm not saying there's a Matrix out there. I don't know. Some people believe there are. I don't know. I live blissfully in my naive state, okay, whatever it is. But to be honest with you, I do believe there is more out there. Not necessarily in the Matrix style, but I mean something big and beautiful. And I think if you find a way to tap into it, tap into your intuition here, to let go of, that fear, to let go of that worrying, you can tap into the things that are out there. And I'm not trying to lose anybody by stepping out of my normal lane and into my metaphysical lane, but I truly believe that if we open our minds and we open our hearts to believing, you're tapping into something your soul already knows. Okay? Because, I mean, if you believe that there is something after this life, then it's kind of like, ooh. I mean, I myself have had a near-death experience. I was very young, and I've mentioned this before in the last couple of weeks, but for the first time, actually, I think. I was very, very young, but I still remember it clear as day. And even my mom asked me because I told her probably several years before she got sick. Well, before we knew she was sick. And, we were watching a show, and I just kind of randomly said, wow, so I'm not the only one. Because, it was starting to become a thing, right? After this one kid, wrote a book about it, it became a movie. All of a sudden, it opens the doorway for other people to say, you know what? I've had this experience. Because before, when you would talk about it, you would either be looked at like you had 50 heads, or you'd be told it's evil. But see, this kid said he saw God and talked to God. And for some reason, after that, it was okay for other people to just share their experiences. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because I think it's a good thing that he saw what he saw. And I'm not doubting what he saw. I'm not. What I'm saying is, sometimes we get so conditioned by society's norms that we're afraid to speak our truth. We're afraid to speak what's on our mind. We're afraid to say what it is exactly that we are feeling. And we're afraid to come out with our own beliefs. And I am slowly emerging in my own beliefs because I'm at this point in my life where I don't give a shit what other people think. If you want to think I'm stupid and you want to think I'm crazy and you want to think I'm whatever, then you're missing out on the joy that is me. You're missing out on my light, my magic, my stuff. Okay? And I think when other people feel the same way and they push away from you, they're just making room for people who will respect you. I'm not saying my people have to believe what I believe. The nice thing about the group of people, my own personal tribe, is that they just let me be who I am. I let them be who they are. We don't try to force our beliefs on each other. If they have a question, I'm happy to answer it. If I have a question, they're happy to answer it. But there have been people that will give you the pushback, and I think that's fear. So don't be angry with them. Don't be afraid. Don't push people into believing what you believe, because that's how you lose people. But if you speak your truth and you speak your honesty and you're not afraid, sometimes people do come around and start questioning and saying like, oh, you know what? When people make fun of things, a lot of times it's out of fear, or It's because there's a part of them subconsciously that wishes they could be their authentic self. They could be their true self. I struggled with that for a long time. You know, I didn't make fun of other people and their beliefs, but what I did do was kind of just hide in my own little corner and keep to myself until I did find a community of like-minded people. And that has helped me grow huge by leaps and bounds. Okay, so here's the last one for the Lemuria deck. Harmonic Flight. This powerful image, there you go, Harmonic Flight. That's actually a cool card with the two faces. See, I don't know if, I didn't see it right away, so here are the two faces. And the infinity symbol right above. Whoops, right above. So, this powerful image represents the divine. Okay. My reading skills are lacking today. This powerful image represents the divine we see when we look deeply into the eyes of another and our armor drops. When we meet another being. Wait. I'm sorry. Let me try this. You know what? Okay. This might be my problem. I love my glasses, but I left all my stuff at home. And so these are not necessarily always the greatest for reading because I do need to clean them. So shift change. These are a little bit better for reading. All right. This powerful image represents the divine we see when we look deeply into the eyes of another and our armor drops. When we meet another being present in the moment with no stories, judgments, or insecurities. Hey, I was just talking about this. When we harmonize our energies with another, we can soar to the sky. We can guide each other higher and higher by encouraging all that has been weighing us down to drop away. The bonds you share give you the power to transmute fear. But put time and awareness into resolving karmic connections, or they will continue to play out. There may also be a life-changing connection on the horizon. Woo, life-changing connections. Who knows what that means? It means new people might be entering your life, or, you know, maybe it's a job opportunity, or maybe it's a life opportunity. Just stay open. Please don't be afraid anymore, okay? Like I said, fear is a liar and worry is its best friend. All right, let's start closing this up because again, I think I got lucky. The tree trimmers stopped for a bit, but I don't know how much longer they're going to stop. So I'm going to go with the Sacred Cycles deck. Now, the Sacred Cycles deck, it's going to feel like it's aimed more towards females. All right, and because a lot of cards that do pop up are part of the female reproductive system, but that's just symbolism. Okay, so I don't want to lose anybody with that. I truly don't, because these are great cards, and I really, really love them. And oh my goodness, am I going to have to go through like a whole pile just popped out? Oh Lord. I just got these cards, so I don't know them that well, which means I'm going to have to read every single one of these. That's what they mean by closing it up, right? Number 1, 23, the mother. Hey, the mother with the baby. 23, the mother. Let's go. If anybody has any questions on what the journal prompts are, I will be happy to put them in. Just ask me. Just send me a side message or put it in the comments wherever you're watching, here or on YouTube or whatever, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Mother. I love myself unconditionally. I love that one. I love myself unconditionally. The archetype of profound nurturing and service, the mother, ensures that a loving embrace caresses all those who are in need of a tender touch. Boundless compassion shines down upon you through the guidance of the Divine Mother, and fertile abundance in all of its forms awaits you with a reminder that you are so deeply cared for. All parts of you are welcome and celebrated here. You are being encouraged to open up to connecting with patient role models who may share their wisdom and guide you along your journey. You will discover profound blessings through acts of service and seeking ways to care for others. This becomes a growing cycle of nourishment and fertility for you and those you reach with your gifts. The journal prompt. How open am I to receiving care? How do I provide care for others? Again, it's like I said, vulnerability is a strength. Now, I know a lot of people are like, what do you mean being open to care? I know a lot of people who are afraid to just accept help. I used to be one of those people, so I see it, I get it, I understand it. But I found that in vulnerability, there is a strength because it takes that strength to ask for help. And I think the reason this is part of the mother card is because in most cases, that's the first person a lot of people turn to. They will call their mom, or if it's a single parent household, they will call that parent, their dad or their mom. And, because these are the nurturers in their life, right? Now, in my case, I was lucky because both of my parents were nurturers. So I was fortunate in the fact that I could turn to both of them. Mostly my dad, believe it or not. I don't want this to go sideways, but my mom was very Catholic. So a lot of times things that I had questions on or things I needed to talk about, I was a little afraid to talk to her about it because she could be closed-minded on things. And that's not to be mean, and that's not to put down anybody's beliefs. It was just for me, I guess what I'm trying to say is, do not let your religion get in your way of what a child is trying to ask you. Okay? Do not let your lack of religion get in the way of what a child is trying to ask you. I know people whose kids are becoming, very curious about God, and that's not how they were raised. So be open to it. Okay? Your child is coming to you to look to you for answers and guidance. And if you don't know how to guide them, find someone who will. A lot of my cousins would come to my mom for spiritual guidance. And I think that was wonderful because that's what they needed and they didn't know who else to get it from. But Auntie Ellen / Auntie Putty, which depending on which side of the family you were on, they knew they could come to her. So she provided that for them. Okay. Number 2, spring. Spring, growth, right? New birth. So spring. Number 14. Let's see what we got here. I love this deck. I have not seen any of these cards yet, so I'm super excited. I am ready to grow. That's the affirmation. I am ready to grow. Springtime. When the earth begins its deep inhale, reawakening the signs of life and vibrancy. After a time of dormancy, there is an urgency and excitement to get on with the growing already. Let me try this again. Apparently changing my glasses was not helpful. Springtime. When the earth begins its deep inhale, oh God, it must be Friday. It must be Friday. Let me try this one more time. Springtime. When the earth begins its deep inhale, reawakening the signs of life and vibrancy. After a time of dormancy, there is an urgency and excitement to get on with the growing already. The spring season beckons you with the hope of all that is ready to be nurtured. You may have spent some time recently turned inward, allowing for rest and visioning. Now, the energy has had a chance to replenish and build its supplies. You are ready to stoke the flames and begin once again. Just as the seedlings and initial crops of springtime are not immediately ready for harvest, your next project or process will take some time to come to fruition. You're reminded to notice where a spark of inspiration has been lit and direct your energies and efforts towards nourishing that growing flame. Here's your journal prompt. What project in my life am I most excited to pursue right now? So if you are beginning something, if you were starting a new project, or maybe you started a new job, or maybe you're looking for a new job, or whatever it is that you were trying to put in the planning stages, maybe you're trying to start a family, or maybe you're in a new relationship. Give these things time to grow. Okay, give them the space they need. Nurture it, love it, don't worry about it, and just let it become whatever it's meant to bloom into, with this beautiful, awesome thing. When we go into things worrying and being afraid, that's the constant vibration you are going to keep bringing. Okay, and I have been stuck in the worry and fear vibration for far too long. So trust me when I say, let it go. Fear is a liar, worry is its best friend. The wolf. I love wolves. I don't know what it is about a wolf, but I love wolves. I'm going to share a real quick story. When I was younger, and I say younger because, wolves are a 50-50 shot, okay? They are either going to love you or eat you. Okay, there might be that little space in between where they just kind of eyeball you and think, are they worth it? But my aunt and uncle worked for a home for mentally challenged people, and or I know there's a better term for that, so I apologize if I misspoke on how to say that, but wonderful group of guys. But the home they lived in, they were the caretakers to make sure that they were okay, but it was actually a home where these gentlemen just kind of, they made their own dinners, they made their own, it was like a house for them. Like they were all roommates, right? And then my aunt and uncle lived next door, or in an attached house. And if they needed something, they would make sure they were okay. But the owner of the property had 2 wolves. Okay, so one day I parked next to the fence, and they came up to me, or they were kind of standing about 10 feet from the fence, but you could hear them growling. And so all of a sudden I hear this guy come to the front door, because I was just getting out of my car, and I have a tendency to back in, not because I need attention, but because it's easier to get out. But I got out of the car, and he heard them growling, and all he said was, "Be careful." He's all, "Do not taunt them, do not walk up to the fence." And in this case, I don't blame him, because, the thing he said to me, and this is why I said that, the thing he said to me was, I don't want them getting hurt, because they will charge the fence, all right? He didn't want them getting cut up on the fence, right? It was a chain link fence. But the interesting thing was, they walked up to the fence, and they put their noses through, and he's watching all of this. And I'm like, well, what do I do? And he's all, "Are they growling?" Because he was a little far away. I'm like, "Can you hear any growls?" I'm like, "No." And so I just literally put my hand like just on the fence, and boy, they started nuzzling me like crazy. And he's just looking at me like, I have never seen anybody come here and just do that with these wolves. So I feel that they might be a spirit animal. I don't know. But since that day, of all the things I've been afraid of, surprisingly, wolves are not one of them. Now, they're domesticated. Do not put me in the wild or I will be eaten. That's all I got to say about that. I do not like my chances in the wild. But not in the wild. They like me. So the wolf. I know who I can trust. What did I just say? I know who I can trust. As a pack animal, wolf is wise to where they belong in the scheme of things. Deeply dialed into the hierarchical dynamics at play, they know the value of being acutely attuned to the guidance of inner intuition. Wolf is there to whisper a reminder to look to your instincts. As a leader of your life, you are being called upon to trust your intuition. While cultural narratives may try to tame you, the energy of wolf calls forward your animalistic instincts, your sixth sense, and your inner knowing. Following these cues will guide you through life cycles in ways that feel more in flow. Take note at this time of the ways you're relating with others and whether you have been trying to pull away as a lone wolf when your pack would be so happy to help you. Allow yourself to be bolstered up by others so you can further tap into the innate impulses that wish to support your body's natural cycles and rhythms from within. So the prompt is, am I following my gut instincts when it comes to making decisions? If you are not following your gut instincts when you are making decisions, this card is telling you to do it. I mentioned earlier, I am habitually ignoring my instincts. It's a bad habit of mine. I talk to you guys Monday through Friday about all various subjects, about all different things. And yet, a lot of times I'll find myself going completely against the grain of what I've just talked about. So I think for me, like I said, I am always learning with you guys. And the hard part about learning with you guys is that I know that I need to follow my own advice. So that being said, we had a lot of cards today that talked about balance, that talked about letting go of fear, trusting your inner instincts. We had over three different decks. These ideas, these ways, this guidance system has come through with those three things: balance, intuition, and letting go of fear. I know how hard it can be to do this. I just mentioned I struggle with it myself. But it is possible. Anything is possible. You just have to open your heart, you have to open your mind, you have to open your soul to the possibilities of anything and everything. Anything is possible. What makes it impossible is us, right? What is in the word impossible? I'm possible, right? You've seen that meme everywhere. I'm possible. So this is becoming one of those words that just starting to not, like in Ted Lasso, it's starting to not sound right. So, but seriously, anything you can imagine is possible. If it doesn't happen, that means the equivalent or something better is coming to you. Okay? When it comes to people, hard to say, free will. But if it is divinely meant for you, it will happen. But it will happen when you allow it to happen. If it's just situational, I try not to go into the people area of all this, but I try to stay in the situational things. Okay? In situations, if you keep your heart and your mind open, anything can happen. It's like the song from the Mary Poppins musical. Google it. Look it up on Apple Tunes. But anything can happen if you let it. And then listen to the words. It's a kind of a whole cast song in a way. But it is a song I heard and it resonated with me the very first time I heard it. Because that's what I struggle with. I struggle with letting go of control. And that's what I'm working on now, because I find when I let go of control, life is so much more fun. It goes with the flow. It's a lot more easier. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have your bad moments. Okay, bad moments happen. What it means is that you take those bad moments in stride. You understand them and you take them for the lessons that you know they are becoming and that they are. Everything that happens to us is a lesson in life. To ask for help if you need help, to offer help if somebody needs help, to, be a shoulder if somebody needs a shoulder. One of the best examples I can give on that is after it was the year anniversary of when baby sibling's husband passed away, and I was trying to do everything I could to make it better. But I can't fix those situations. I can't fix anybody. I can be there for them. I can help them. I can guide them. I can hold their hand as long as they need me to hold their hand. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean literally and figuratively. Hold their hand until they are able to let go and do it themselves. But she turned around and she didn't snap at me, but her tone was very terse. And she just said, "You cannot fix this. You need to understand that you cannot fix this. What I need is for you to just be there for me, not say anything. And she's all like, I gotta get through this myself." And it really kind of snapped me too. And so the reason she calls me inappropriate older sibling is because there's a lot of things I can get away with that other people cannot. And so I was like, okay, I understand. And I just kind of patted her shoulder. I'm like, okay, they're there. And it made her laugh. Okay. And that's kind of what I was going for. So a lot of times when I step out of line, it's because I'm trying to bring a little bit of levity to a situation. And this is timing, okay? You have to have that timing or you might get punched in the face. But I told her, I there'd her, and then I told her, I said, you know what, I'm sorry, you're right. And what was happening was I've had so much pain in my own life. So much pain and these things that I hid for so long that I don't want people to feel the same way I feel. That's the glory of the perspective that I do, the Aloha perspective. I share my stories because I want them to help other people. I can't change you. I cannot fix you. I can guide you. I can share with you so you know you're not alone. And I can give you my thoughts and my perspective on these things. But what she taught me in that moment, and which has kind of become our thing, is that they're there. I mean, it's from Baymax, okay, from Big Hero 6. And it's like, they're there. And that kind of became our thing. So now we know when the other one's hurting, it'd be like, well, do you need to talk? No. And then we'll just like fire a billion gifts at each other. And that sometimes it's all somebody needs, a shoulder to lean on. Okay, maybe a hug, maybe someone to hold them for a while and just hug them because there's just so much pain that needs to come out. Here's a challenge. Find somebody today. Okay, somebody you trust that won't be weirded out by this. A lot of times when we hug each other for like less than 2 seconds, right? It's like, hey, how's it going? Okay. Hug somebody for at least 20 to 30 seconds. If they're willing, hug each other for a minute. You will actually start to feel the difference. There was a mom episode about this, and I shit you not, this is real. This is like legit. When you hug somebody and you truly, truly mean it, you can feel everything start to melt away. And believe it or not, it can bring things into focus. It can bring things into clarity. And why? Because for that time, you were vulnerable enough to let somebody else hold you while you try to figure it out. It's a weird thing I cannot explain. That's the closest explanation I can get to it. Is that you were allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough for someone to hold on to you and cuddle you and hug you or whatever it is. Just even if it's just a friend. It was like I was saying a couple months ago. I was hanging out with baby sibling and a mutual friend, and you know, she was just hugging me and she didn't let go, so I didn't let go. And I think it was just, you know, because we were hugging each other goodbye. And I was just, you know, I just held on to her, and then I let her go first. Or I let her let go first, and then I let go. And she just looks at me, she's all, you give magical hugs. I didn't think anything of it. Sometimes it's just what somebody needs. You know, and then baby sibling chimed in and said, you know, yeah, she's all, Shelly gives the best hugs. They're like, it's like magic. And so it made me feel good. And I think in that moment is when I truly understood the impact of what a hug can do. All right. So that's a challenge this weekend. Find somebody, find a bunch of somebodies and just hug them. Okay. Or ask somebody, hey, will you hug me? Because I really need a hug. You know, we always talk about that. And I know for a long time when I was in pain and I had my trauma and I had not dealt with it yet, I didn't want anyone to touch me, especially when I was feeling vulnerable. And that was something that was my biggest, believe it or not, that was my biggest obstacle I had to hurdle, was letting somebody touch me when I was vulnerable. Because there was a disconnect there, because when I was vulnerable as a child, not good. I mean, someone would just literally just try to touch me or come in for a hug, and it's like, do not touch me. Do not, just take your hands off me. Do not touch me. Now, older sibling be like, do you need a hug? It's like, yeah, I think so. And the funny thing is, I can go around all day, you know, just kind of fighting things off, and she'll ask me if I need a hug, and I will hug her before I go into my room, and I will sometimes just burst into tears because I have no idea what I've been holding on to all day. And then it goes away. Is it life-changing? Maybe. Does it make everything different in that moment? Probably not. But it gives you focus and it gives you clarity. It reminds you that you are cared about and that you are loved and that you have people out there, whether it's friends, family, or whatever, that are willing to do this for you to help you. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Happy Aloha Friday one more time. Have a great weekend, everybody. And I will see you back here Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Facebook Live. It is public for Hodgepodge Monday. Hopefully over the weekend I'll find something to talk about. But we'll come up with something. Always do, right? Always figure it out. Or you can catch the replay on YouTube. If you're on YouTube later and check it out there, please feel free to click and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Share it with your people. You know, you never know who out there needs to hear these messages. And that's usually Monday through Friday. So for anybody that might be new here, Monday through Thursday, they're just topics. Wednesday is self-care. So we do cover things that kind of might help with emotional self-care, physical self-care. And then Friday, I just do the Oracle because it's kind of fun to go into the weekend, right? Just getting all these messages and, you know, what can I do? Especially if you work a 9 to 5, right? 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Then you have the weekend to think about these things. All right. So again, have a great weekend. I will talk to everyone later. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging in there. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and have a great day.